Westworld Season 3, Episode 6. Is Ford coming back? It looked like Ford with his nose.
It was being made. Oh, it's interesting.
I like that. I want to leave your reaction. Welcome back to AsArt with Nick and John. We post 3 videos a week. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. All right, John, another crazy theory. I think Ford's coming back. It looked like Ford. I even paused it to see like the nose. It was such a wide nose, and that's the only actor I know of on the show that has such a wide nose.
See, I didn't think they really gave... Well, you know what? I wasn't really looking closely enough to have an idea either way, but that was the last thing on my mind, is that he's just gone. But you know what? If she's saying she needs help, she needs allies, that is what she was saying. If that's what she's saying, that is probably the best one you could get. Now, he spent enough time in Westworld that I guess you could say there's a version of him kind of living on in there. So that'd be cool if they brought Ford back. That does throw the dynamic a little bit more, though.
But, you know, like Dolores, it seems like Dolores can recreate people from her memories. So it might be a recreation of Ford through memories.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't her that was... It was her. She doesn't recreate it. It's Westworld that has all the data, right? So, I mean, he spent enough time in Westworld that they probably have a fairly significant version of him in there. That's what I'm assuming they created it from.
I don't want to go too far into that theory right away because I have a couple other fun theories.
Okay.
Well, first of all, John's favorite character, the Man in Black in the show. What did you think?
Harris.
Did it live up to his counseling session? Or did you like it?
I thought it was interesting. You know what? It's cool. They did some cool world building here. So the thing that Caleb has, that kind of tooth thing, it shows that they don't use that for military purposes, but they use it for people that have supposed, mental instabilities and things like that. Now, my thought with that was like, okay, if there's all kinds of people walking around this machine or this system thinks are threats, instead of limiting their lifestyle choices, why don't they just implant that on everybody? Or maybe that's too overt of a way of doing it. But I thought for a second, I'm like, why couldn't they do that? But I thought that was cool that here's military applications, here's kind of mental well-being applications. And then it was funny, like they're using augmented reality. We're kind of just barely getting into that realm, and they're like, oh, we're going to use this to help, even though that was more virtual reality where he's actually in the space, not seeing the world around him. But I thought it was kind of cool the way he had to face all of this different stuff. Well, what did you think before I start gushing about that?
It still shocks me that, I mean, you know how they kill kids and stuff like that, and there's a dead kid on the ground because he's killing all of his past selves and all that stuff. Like, this show's rated M for mature, obviously, for all the things and topics he does.
Yeah.
How did Star Wars get away with killing kids and being PG-13?
Because they called them younglings. They killed the younglings. That's why.
Isn't it funny? I was like, how does Star Wars still have a PG-13 with him like massacring kids like in the hallway?
And that was the only PG-13 until we got to, I think, the newest ones. That was the only PG-13 one we had. But what's funny is there was some strong parallels. What's her name? Charlotte being burned at the end. I'm like, oh, she's going to totally Anakin. I hate you.
She looked so much like Anakin. She really did.
Yeah.
Okay, and then fun little sidetrack. I think Dolores killed her.
Set that up for... So who walked out at the end? Like, that was
We don't know who that guy is. We just know he's working for someone.
I thought he was the guy that worked for Serac, but maybe I'm wrong. I know we've seen him in the show, but I can't remember.
I could totally see Dolores killing her, though, because she's gone soft.
Because she's deviating too much from... Yeah. I mean, it could be... That's a cool thing is it could go... There's no right or wrong people in this, and that's what I love about the Ed Harris's character is finally they came around to like, so what did you... I figured out who I am. Like, what's that? He's like, I'm the good guy. I'm like, Ed Harris, good job, buddy.
So I'm guessing he's going to team up with Bernard.
I mean, either one way or whether he means to or not, he's definitely with them now and has to be for a while because they found him. But it's kind of funny, like you're wondering how much time has passed now because they're like, wow, it looks like he's been here for a while. While the world was collapsing around them, they just kind of left him there plugged in, kind of like the dude that he was trying to bring back to life, right? Given the guy that he kind of was the son-in-law of that he married into the family, where he was just left in confinement for so much that he kind of changed as a person, or so it's like he had his own confinement as well, and he's come out, at least in this case it seems like he's figured out who he is, but he might have just gotten even more crazy, who knows. But it was cool seeing all of them on screen at the same time, and they're all having arguments from the different phases in their life. It was kind of cool.
It was really cool. I thought that was such a good scene. It really was. So Dolores, she obviously wants plans to make more robots. Now we know why what was the dudes, the samurai dude from the Westworld? Remember how the samurai guy was?
Yeah, I forgot his name.
We haven't found out what happened to him since the last episode.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
but
no.
Remember when they stabbed the thing and all the white stuff came out? So maybe that guy's gathering materials. Now they have the tech, and there's one more person that she brought with them, right?
I think so.
And we just don't know. Is it? Yeah. Are they in like Berlin or something like that? I can't remember where they're at. So she hasn't revealed the last person. We haven't seen what the last person's been up to. So I'm curious what's going on with their plan.
And by the way, Maeve's boyfriend just can't cut a break. He dies, gets brought back. 10 minutes later, he dies again. That poor guy. And he got just like Grape. He got Karate Kidded, squished this time.
But it's like she awakened the giant kind of thing. Dolores might have been the thing that causes her to lose now, because now Maeve has so much motivation to stop Dolores.
Because at the end, her machine was all freaking out or something, right?
Yeah, like, just like a power trip kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, or over 9,000. Did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
No, I've never seen Dragon Ball Z. Nick, he asks me all the time, have you seen this anime, that anime? John has not seen that. He's seen one his entire life. You guys in the audience know better than Nick does apparently now. But anyway,
and then Serac.
1.21 gigawatts. There we
Dude,
go. We got the Back to the Future.
Did you freak out for a second when she went to go shoot him and it went through him?
You know what? That started having me jump to your theory again. Like, oh, he's not real. But then it jumped to a scene of him in a real office with glasses. I'm like, oh, is he
real office? It could be a simulation though.
I still think you might have the big spoiler for the whole season is he's not a real dude. I think that's still. Because they haven't, well, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
And right? It plays with our emotions on it.
Yeah, it plays it. But I love his character. I think the way he acts is really perfect for that part. Mm-hmm. You're being shown that even with Maeve, with her, intelligence pumped way up, he still kind of has her under his thumb. And then also Dolores is kind of almost a step behind him in certain regards. I mean, obviously they're going back and forth, but it seems like he's a cool. If we don't get Ford back, like Nick's crazy theory, we have, I think, a cool, not replacement, but we have a good, equal guy, from a different walk of life.
Yeah, I think the thing Ford had advantage over is he understood the robots so well, because obviously he's programming them and he watched them, he wrote their stories and all that stuff, so he had such a deep understanding of even Serac wants his technology basically.
Yeah, he wants it for different purposes than Ford did, obviously.
But it just seemed like maybe Arnold and Ford had a better system than his. Mm. You know what I mean?
Well, and the interesting thing about Arnold, I was going to say about Bernard, is we still, last episode, we got 2 minutes of Bernard and his sidekick again. I know. So I'm guessing, who was the big feature in next episode? They kind of it's Caleb, right? Caleb. They seem like they're featuring a lot. I feel like, this is 6, so we have 10 episodes, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like pretty soon here we're going to have to kick into high-end Bernard territory to either they're kind of, because in season 2 he was probably the most liked character, and I don't think they would just reduce his role to where he's not a main character anymore. Yeah. So they must be saving something with him.
I had one more crazy theory. Oh, is Caleb maybe a Connor?
A Connor.
If we connect it to the Terminator.
Oh, like a Sarah Connor type character, or like Sarah Connor or John Connor.
Or do you think he is John Connor?
When you said Connor, that's immediately what I thought, because I'm a Terminator nut. But I'm like, he can't be talking about Terminator. And then you're like, it's like, oh, yeah. He's very much up in the air right now. We have no idea kind of what his thought, at least that I've grasped. Why do you think that's the case?
I don't know, because he's going to be like the leader. She's like, basically you took all these all these,
orders or whatever.
Yes, thank you. I could not think of that word. You took all these orders. Now it's time for you to give orders and lead, kind of thing, right? In the trailer, we're talking about the trailer. I'm talking about the trailer.
The preview for the next episode.
So,
you know what? I mean, if she's saying lead, she's probably saying lead for me. So he'd be working on the side of the machines. But it seems like he's been questioned by Bernard and people like that. Like, hey, do you really understand like who she is or what she's wanting of you? Have you ever thought about it? So there definitely is the potential that he's going to kind of break away from her. Kind of like, what's his name? What was her cowboy guy? Forgot his name already.
Teddy.
Todd. That's not a cowboy. Todd. What do you? No, yeah, Teddy. Where Teddy just because he's kind of similar in personality a little bit, right? He's a Western guy, but he kind of has this spot.
But he has more of a backstory than Teddy.
I thought actually, you know what? When you were saying you thought Maeve was bringing up Ford, I thought it was maybe going to be Teddy, like someone that could really get to Dolores and kind of throw her off her balance. But I didn't look at the nose of the form that was. I didn't look at the nose of the form that was coming out at all.
If she had to pick a team now that Hector's gone, who else do you think she would have chose?
I mean, Ford's the most. He's kind of like the god character in all this. Along with William, you have Ford, and then you have Bernard or Arnold, right? I mean, those are the three main creators. So obviously you have Serac,
and also
but he's kind of
biggest connection to Dolores.
Yeah,
like if you need info on Dolores, you need those guys, right?
Yeah. So you're right. It could very well could be Ford. I feel like you're kind of bringing back too many characters, or maybe you're kind of muddying the waters a little bit too much. But if you had to choose a team, like you said, if you could, zombie apocalypse, except this time it's robot apocalypse, like. Who do you want on your side? Well, I want Ford. I want the guy that just knows everything,
What about the guy that was like the leader of the tribe, who like awakened really early on?
Oh, the Indian dude. I mean, so he's still locked away, as far as I understand. He's still locked away in Dolores' mind because she has that encryption key, right, wherever they got sent off to.
So
right?
They don't have access to anyone that got locked away then?
Except for Dolores has the encryption key in her head, and that's what Maeve was saying.
So there's no
could give me the encryption key.
There's no copies.
No, I think it's them. I think it's them. Just well, I mean, they might have their core programming, but not the kind of evolved version of them. I think. And we're getting into nerd territory here, but fun stuff though. So honestly, I like this episode quite a bit. I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, it wasn't like a great one. Compared to like some of the early, like season one, still just maybe the best season of entertainment I've ever seen. But
they have to get better security guards. These guys just get wiped out way too easily.
Yeah.
Like one shot, they're down. Like they're not even moving.
And they have all kinds of body armor and stuff. But the only thing I think of is like, okay, they're androids or robots. They're basically Terminators, but they're not as resilient. So they have really good aim. That's all I can think of. I mean, it's that wasn't.
But it
Charlotte.
looks like
That's
she's not even shooting them in the head, though.
No, it's like body armor, which is interesting because unless she's shooting right through the seams, which does happen in real life, 1 in a million. But
to every single person.
Yeah, I know.
Same shot.
Seam. But you know what? I'm interested. At this point, I think if we're people that are still watching, we're invested in this show. At this point, we're interested to see where it's going to go. That being said, and I say this every kind of episode, I feel like we're getting a little bit murky waters, getting a little bit funky. But at the same time, I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
What did you think about a thing that I liked, a dynamic that they brought in, and they touched on it in the kind of making of after the show, and then also during the show, is like Charlotte. The Dolores version is actually more maternal than how Charlotte would have been in real life, which I thought was kind of a cool concept. I
also think something's going to happen where if any version of Dolores lives on, it might be Charlotte's version, but it's more Charlotte than Dolores. It's like an evolved, better person kind of thing.
And you were right, because early on, it was a couple episodes back, you were saying how they mentioned just in one line how, if you merge the consciousness of these two people, they start to kind of evolve into one being. And you were right, because we definitely are seeing that with Charlotte. And they talked about that after the episode and things like that. But it's really kind of a fun dynamic. I didn't, honestly, the end of season 2, when they revealed that Charlotte was kind of recreated and they killed the real Charlotte. I didn't like that idea, but now it's kind of a fun idea that, okay, like she's this Dolores, but this, it's almost like evolution, right? Or like the theory of evolution, to where, okay, we went off in different branches. Some of the branches made it, some of them didn't, and here you go. So it's really kind of a fun concept, and I'm sure it's deliberate. It's a cool concept. Any other things that was kind of surprising or you're really looking forward to? I think Caleb's going to be a fun episode next episode.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of the Man in Black and him with Bernard and his sidekick. I think could be fun. Yeah. 3 of them bickering and stuff would be kind of fun. No,
Stubbs.
Yeah, Stubbs. What a cool name, Stubbs. What was his real name? Charlotte, right? Ashley? No, not Charlotte. Ashley. Yeah,
Is Ashley. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Ashley. Yeah. But hopefully we get more Bernard and Stubbs.
We will. Oh, yes, we will. And maybe Ford.
So are you still holding to your theory that you think that Serac is a AI being? I'm
There's
leaning
going to
towards
be some major twist with him. There has to be.
Yeah.
There has to be.
And I think that's going to be a good one, too.
It's like the Bernard twist. The whole time we think he's something, but then it's like, oh my gosh, he was a robot the whole time.
Yeah.
It's the only twist they're able to do on the show.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. When you're dealing with pearls and you can bring people back. I mean, the only guy that seems dead now is Hector, right? He got the squish treatment. He's done. Squish. He was back for 5 minutes, that poor guy. Hey, guys. So hopefully you've been enjoying going through these with us. Obviously, we have our ideas. We're clinging to some crazy theories that may or may not be true, but it would be fun to see if some of them did carry through. So check us out on asart.space. You can find all the video links and audio podcast links as well. Any other content on there as well. Hit subscribe if you like us on YouTube. Check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we'll see you on the next AsArt.